right, we got a lot to cover today. So the software I'm going to be using for those of you who may be brand new is VectorVest. VectorVest has been around for 30 years. It is a stock analysis and portfolio management system. This is the tool that we use here at VectorVest to help you guys analyze any of the over 8,300 stocks that we track. We're going to use that in regards to the stories, what's trending in the market, what news is trending in the market, what news is moving stocks. That's what we cover here in Trending Thursdays. So if you want to know what's hot and what's not, you're in the right place nonetheless. So we always start off with what's going on in the market. This is the home page of the VectorVest software. You're going to get a real feel of what's going on in the market. And this home page provides a lot of great information before you start to even analyze stocks. Let's start off with what's going on with our major indices today. Let me click this. We have a mixture in the market. The Dow is slightly down, but all of the other major indices are up slightly. The S&P 5 and 100 are flat to slightly up. The VectorVest Composite, which tracks the movement of over 8,300 almost 8,300 stocks right now, the price of that composite is up 10 cents today. Looks like it's a big mover in the market, but the NASDAQ is even bigger, up about 0.6%. So right now we're looking at what we call a mixed market. The Dow is slightly down, but all the major indices are slightly up to flat. But nonetheless, that's where we stand. We look at our market timing gauge, which is indicative of the color guard, the top row of our color guard. I'll get to that in a second. We're one ticket to the green. The VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. Down below that, in the color guard, which tracks 3 of our market timing indicators, price, RT, and the buy to sell ratio. Price looks at the movement of the VectorVest Composite on a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. RT is an indicator of the short-term price trend of the market. Is the market in an up or down trend? Below the value of 1, which is cast on a scale between 0 and 2, below the value of 1 is unfavorable. The market is still overall in a downtrend, but strengthening. The buy-to-sell ratio looks at the overall health of the market. Above the value of 1, the market is now showing more buy recommendations in the software than sells. The market is showing signs of strength. And when we look at these indicators on both the week-over-week and day-over-day basis, we assign tiles. When it's a yellow tile, it's mixed data. It's either up on a week-over-week or day-over-day basis or back and forth. So we assign a yellow tile. When it's green, that means that an indicator rose on a week-over-week and on a day-over-day basis, so we assign a green tile. Notice that 4 out of the last 6 trading days, the price column has had green lights. That is an indicator that it's okay to start buying stocks on that day. But overall, don't lose sight that we are looking at more yellow lights than anything. Use the color guard like a traffic light. More yellow than anything, slow down. Even on the green days, we have a green light in the color guard pricing column, it's okay to start dipping your toe in the water. Right now, the water's getting kind of cold, especially here in North Carolina. We woke up this morning to 37 degrees. It was pretty cold this morning, but it's going to probably go up to 80 degrees for the end of the day, by the end of the day. So it is what it is. But on the green lights in the color guard pricing column, it's okay to buy a couple of stocks. Don't back the truck up. But keep in mind, with all of the yellow, manage your trades a little closer. All right, so that's what we've got going on as far as from a market timing perspective. It's okay to dip your toe in the water to the bullish side. Don't go crazy. If you get stopped out of any stocks, wait for a green light day on the color guard pricing column before you buy any more stocks. All right? So keeping that in mind, let's start getting into what news is moving the market. So you know something, that this is more so a news-driven market, okay? This is more so of a news-driven market. You notice what we didn't talk about from last week to this week? China. There wasn't a lot of news about China because right now we're talking about what's going on in Syria and what's going on with the Turks and in Syria and the Kurds and all that kind of stuff. So globally, what's moving the market could be something that came out earlier last week, that Turkey, Russia start the clock on Kurdish withdrawal from northern Syria. So that was the big story from the news-driven side that could be moving the market. There again, there wasn't much about China this week, but that can change all of next week. So Istanbul, Turkish forces suspended their offensive in northern Syria, and Russian security forces began patrolling nearby under an agreement that gives Kurdish fighters 150 hours to leave what Ankara calls a safe zone in the war-torn country's north. All right, so Instead of it being China, it's looking at what's going on in Syria. Let's go back into the software, and I'm going to open up my watch list of stocks. All right, all of the stocks that we're going to talk about, and before you say, holy smokes, that's a lot of stocks, they're going to be separated out. So the first two stocks that I'm going to look at are going to always be the spiders, the S&P 500, and the VVC, or the VectorVest Composite. Most people use the spiders as a gauge to determine whether their stocks are going up or going down compared to what the spiders are doing on the S&P 500. And of course, we use the VectorVest Composite as a means to see what's going on in the market, because this indicator tracks the movement of almost 8,300 stocks. So let's go right click. Let's go take a look at both of those graphs. So we're talking about the stories in Turkey. So as we look at the spiders, we can see that the S&P 500 overall over the last year has been moving higher. Right now, coming off a most recent swing high. That swing high occurred on 9/19. Looks like we're approaching that level. That high in the spiders was sitting at 302.63. Right now, we're at 299.93. We do have a 20-day exponential moving average. The S&P 500 is above that 20-day exponential moving average. All right, so the spiders, or the S&P 500, is moving higher. Let's look at the VectorVest Composite, which looks at more than just 500 stocks. It looks at the movement of about 8,300 stocks. Looks sort of like the same way. Its high on the VectorVest Composite was hit on 7/24 at a price of $48.64. Right now, we're trading at a price of $47.77, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. But I want you to keep something in mind. Coming off of that high, look at what the market's doing. All right, the market is trending lower off of that high. Let me draw that line a little darker. Trending off of that high. What I'd really like to see, even though we're above the 20-day exponential moving average, let's break above that downtrend. That would give more credence to this movement coming off of this level of support, moving higher. Let's break above that. Earnings on the stocks, almost 8,300 stocks, definitely moving higher. Volume is pretty steady. So those are the two indicators looking at overall global market activity. The markets are moving higher. Maybe the withdrawal for the Kurds is doing well for the market nonetheless. So let me close that, and that's what we're looking at. So let me see what comments you have coming in here. Does the hot stocks buy even when there's a confirmed down signal? And Mindy, what we do is, normally when we have a confirmed down signal, hot stocks are gauged off of the primary wave. So even if we have a confirmed down call, if the primary wave is up, we're going to be looking at bullish hot stocks. When the primary wave is down, we're going to be looking at contra ETFs. That's how that works. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.